Well, what's up, folks? It is Tuesday night, 8 o'clock on this beautiful rainy night, I guess, down here in Tampa as I'm looking out the studio window. Obviously, much darker than what it should be this time of the night, but when we get those monsoon rainstorms down here in Florida, that's what ends up happening. We just get tons and tons of rain and it rolls through, and sometimes it goes away in 15 minutes. Other times it comes raging back. So, but it's okay. It's Florida weather. That's what happens. But more importantly, of course, and it's going to drive Vito crazy. Lightning win last night, 5-1. Huge game one for the Lightning versus Montreal, but we expect for Montreal to come back game two. And not only that, I'll be down there at Thunder Alley tomorrow. So if any Tampa Lightning fans want to stop by, say hello, by all means do so. Either that or I might bring the camera to you guys. So tomorrow night, Thunder Alley, game two, Montreal, Tampa Bay. We'll might talk about that a little bit later on, which I'm pretty sure Fuji will get extremely fired up for because he loves Tampa. Absolutely loves everything Tampa is. I can see him in the green room here, just shaking his head saying, no way, Jose. But we do have Vince Quinn on tonight. And with Vince, we always have a lot of fun with Vince Quinn. And I'm glad he's come back on with us tonight. He will have something to do a little bit later on. So in case you guys see him just poof and be gone, well, that's the reason why. He's a busy man. And for Last Style Media, celebrating their 1 year anniversary, and they are doing amazing things. And you know, as much as I know and everyone else, we support them 100%. So Last Style Media, once again, happy anniversary to you guys. I know it was last week, but hey, we can always say it all year long because before you know it, it'd be the second year. But a lot of good things coming out of Last Style Media. We caught up with Vince Quinn about that as well. Everyone else, just hang on the other side here. We're planning to have a lot of fun. And by the way, if you guys just have any kind of questions, any comments or anything else, by all means, the show is about you guys tonight and us just having fun because Vince is on just hanging out with us. No interviews tonight. It's just us having fun. So we'll see you on the other side. I'm Angel. This is Broad Street South. For the quick intro for a man who really doesn't need an introduction, but we like to see him dancing, even though you can't in the background. Here is Vito Corleone. Almost. See, almost. It almost happened.
Almost. You'll never get me. The only way you'll get me is if you get me on tape. You ain't got nothing.
No, I'll get you. Don't worry.
You ain't got nothing.
I'll get you. Don't worry, because one of these days I'm just going to cut off that intro, and all of a sudden everybody's going to see you dancing. Don't worry about it. I will get you. But tonight also as well, our young beat writer, the Clemson, we can call him an alum because he is, still part of university, but he is a sophomore. It is Ducky, and he has a lot of information for us tonight. And I lost something here. Where did I lose it? I lost it. No, it's right here. Here's Ducky. Ducky, Nick.
What's up, sophomore Jenks?
Hey, I'm doing well. My job here at the university kicked off. Students have moved in Saturday, so today's day 2 of class for them, and I've gotten a chance to meet almost half of my 20 students. But we're all good here, having a great time working around the side here, trying to enjoy my time here at Clemson over the summer while there's not really a lot of students here. But
hey, Nick, are you like one of those tour guides like in Road Trip?
No, I am not. I am
you
not.
Do that like where the VHS tape goes to the girlfriend and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
and you got to drive to another state just to make sure you get it back in time.
Unfortunately, no, it's not my job. I just help freshmen transition into college. That's my job.
Now, like, what was his name? Tom. I can't think of his name. Tom Green.
Yeah. Probably nothing like that. But anyways, here is also our national correspondent, as apparently Vito's got jokes tonight. Ryan. Ryan, what is happening tonight?
What a motley freaking crew this is tonight, especially with Vince coming on. Hey, this show's for the viewers. Anybody who's tuning in, listening, viewing, whatever, hit us with whatever you have. Let's talk about whatever, man. I'm set to go, especially with
whatever. That could get personal.
All the way up there, the grease ball up there. So let's get it going.
Exactly. But hey, listen, we have on again our guest just joined the guys tonight, having a lot of fun. Vince Quinn. If you guys follow him like we do here at Broad Street South, it's Vince Quinn. It's that simple. His Twitter handle. And the man himself is joining us right now. It's Vince Quinn. Vince, how are you this evening?
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's good to be back.
What's up, Vince?
Great to have you.
Back. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
It's better.
By the way, after this, we're only talking about the good parts of my appearance, all right? Everything else we throw out the window, only the good things.
Sure, no problem.
Absolutely.
It's what we do around here. Listen, it's again tonight, by the way, you guys, it's again all about you guys tonight. We're planning to have a lot of fun. The last time we did something like this was right around the holidays. So we figured we'd do it again here as mini camp is about to start here shortly. So everything will be completely busy come next month, all the way through into December. And hopefully we'll be talking about some playoff football. Maybe if Nick Sirianni can get the Eagles together. But hey, we'll see. I see the comments coming in. I'll get to you guys momentarily in the comments. So I'd like to say hello and thank you to everyone who's tuning in tonight. Even if it's your first time, we appreciate it. As you guys know, as I put out the world map a little earlier this weekend, we are now being heard and seen in Moscow, Russia. I don't know what we've done in Russia, but hey, Moscow, das vidanya. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate it.
Nostrovia.
Yeah, you never know.
Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah. I risked a heart attack. Exactly what you said. No problem. But listen, thanks to everyone else, especially the Dallas area. Dallas, we've picked up some viewers from there as well. So, hey, the Cowboys love, it's not here, but we do love at least that Dallas is watching. So we do appreciate it. It'll make it fun for this football season. So thanks to everyone who's making the show successful. We really do appreciate it. And of course, for Vince Quinn, because every time he comes on, there's always something fun that happens with Vince. And Vince, once again, thank you. And by the way, happy anniversary to you guys, to you, John and John. That's absolutely awesome.
Well, yeah, thanks, man. And you gave us the shout out at the beginning. I appreciate that, Angel. Obviously, we've known each other for a little while and appreciate your support and for everybody that supported the studio. Like, we're just trying to get guys that, people are just working hard, trying to put good shows out. We just try to help people out with that. So the fact that we made it a year is great. And we're planning for about 500 more. That's an approximation, though. We're thinking we get to 500. We'll see.
And there goes my camera, as usual. Something funky has got to happen, as usual. Hold on, give me a second. I'll be back. It's just the way it works.
I like this, though. You said there's going to be fun stuff on the show. Randomly losing your camera is fun. That is a good start.
It is. And it's funny because I bought a brand new cord for the camera, and it's plus I'll blame it on the ring tonight anyways. But it's just it's quirky little things that happen. It's the gremlins of the show. It is what it is, but it's all right. It's fun. But
It's not bad luck in Tampa.
No, listen.
Teams.
It's not
Especially
bad
the
luck.
Lightning.
Just to let you know, okay, it is around here. I don't call it. The locals call it Champa Bay. Just to let you know, because you got the Bucks, the Lightning about to repeat maybe for a second time, and then you got the Rays that are hoping to get back there to finish what they didn't do last season. But it's okay. It's all right. It's a lot of fun. But listen, again, I see the comments. David, Joey, David, hang on. I see you guys. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. Vince, one thing that we haven't learned much about, but we do know that Nick Sirianni is trying to get this team gelled together so that we can see a great production this season. So without wasting too much time, I would think, and I would love to know what your prediction, one, is how Nick will end up doing with the Eagles this season, and two, what do you think the record will end up being with that extra game this season?
Well, yeah. So first off, I think Sirianni's one of those guys that when he first got hired, everybody was like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? Like, he's coming out, he's all fired up, he's stammering. It just, like, people didn't know what to make of him. I think the more time they see of Nick Sirianni, I think people are going to get on board with this guy. I mean, it's a team that they've got talent in the right spots for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have an offensive line. They added a bunch of wide receivers. Jalen Hurts can run around a little bit. Everything is built the right way to have a ball control running system that they're trying to do. So on that side, I think Sirianni's going to be all right. How great the team's going to be. I mean, obviously, this team just loves getting injured. I don't know what it is, but they like just like cracking bones in their bodies and tearing ligaments. So hopefully they get over that. And assuming they do, I think we're looking at a solid team, guys. I mean, we're looking at a team that could be, I almost said 7-9, but you're right. There's an extra game. Like 7-10, 8-9, somewhere in that. I mean, the division's still not that good. So that's what I'm looking at.
No, it's true. And the funny part is that so earlier today I was listening to Andy Kalu, who's out there in Houston, of course, former Eagle player, and his co-host, Big Sarge, was talking about that Dallas would end up being, if I remember correctly, he said between 13-4 and or 14-3. Huge and far stretch for the Cowboys to even do something like that. And again, I think all of us have pretty much advocated for Dak to get signed. He did. Supposedly that running back that he had, that, whatever his name is, nose ring dude, he's apparently he's losing weight and trying to get in the best health of his life. We've heard that one before when he was in Mexico, when he was a holdout. So I don't expect Dallas to be that strong. I do, however, expect for DCU, now that Ron Rivera is completely healed from cancer, thank God. But now that he's back at pretty much at full Ron Rivera that we know of, I think DCU will probably end up winning the division. So out of the NFC East, or if we still want to continue calling it the NFC least, who do you believe wins the division this year?
I'm with you on that, man. Washington seems to be the best team to me. The Giants, they're a weird team. They drafted a wide receiver when they already went and signed Kenny Golladay and had good receivers. Like, Dave Gettleman's a bad GM. Let's just call it like it is. He's not a good GM.
Uh-oh.
Better come back. See, I told you. It's always fun with Vince Quinn. So until he comes and until Vince comes back, he's frozen here momentarily. Just go around the table. Fuge. NFC East.
Right now, I'd have to say Washington. I mean, coming off, they made a playoff appearance, even though they had a last place schedule, but still, I mean, they signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. They signed Chris Samuel from Carolina. They got a couple good rookies down there, and they got a nice lights out defense. I think right now, the point blank, I'd have to say Washington's favored to win the division. How can they not be? I mean, Dallas has some question marks. I mean, Dallas and the Giants, but who the hell knows where the Eagles? I think the Eagles are going to be a lot better than what a lot of people think. But I'm not crowning them the NFC least champion at this very second.
No.
I may get some flack, but hey, diehard Eagle to the fullest, but I'm a realist. I mean,
well, David says they'll be 10-7 and or 11-6 and win the division. Listen, David, that's high hopes. High hopes, Dave. And we appreciate you coming back again this week. High hopes, and I wish that the Eagles would end up doing that. I don't believe, and again, Nick Sirianni is coming in with a brand new coaching staff, basically starting from scratch all over again. Unless he can pull something amazing like Matt Nagy did with Chicago the very first year, that would be beyond incredible. I just don't see that same kind of magic from Matt Nagy to Nick Sirianni to get the Eagles to where they need to be. They could turn it around. Who knows? I mean, a lot of things can happen during the season, but I'm pretty sure come next month as we start getting into mini camp and start seeing how the players are acclimating, then we'll get a better hold of exactly what's going on. And I can see that Vince has popped literally back into the building.
Yeah, more fun things, huh? Just throwing all the curveballs today.
Exactly. It's the way it works. So
it keeps it interesting. Well, yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the main thing. Mike McCarthy sucks, right? Mike McCarthy sucks too. Like the same way Dave Gettleman's no good. Is anybody looking at Mike McCarthy at this point, being like, man, the Eagles wish they could have fired Peterson a year earlier to get Mike McCarthy? Oh my God, like that guy's terrible. So I don't buy Dallas at all. And yeah, Washington's really the only competently run team, which is weird to say, but yeah, you got to give it to Washington right now. They're the best team in the division.
Exactly.
No, I can see that our national correspondent probably begs to differ, but we'll get the intake here from our national correspondent here, Ryan Neff. Ryan, I'm pretty sure you've probably seen the Kansas City, even though not even in the same division, but we'll get to see what would you like from the NFC East.
Look, the bottom line for me is this. Yes, Washington has the best defense in the division. I will hand them that. But I'm going to go out on a limb. If the Giants can't win the division with what they have offensively now, if Daniel Jones can't step up to the plate this year, even if their defense improves just a little bit, with Barkley coming back, with the receiving core they have, with some of the tight ends that they have now. I mean, I know Ingram, he's always hurt up and down. And look, I don't make my decisions. I don't make my picks until 2 days before the season starts. But as of today, I am picking the Giants to win the division. We'll see what happens the rest of the summer. I know people will laugh because, look, the Cowboys, yes, offensively good. Defensively, they stink. They're horrible. I don't know what – you can't improve that much in a year's period after the sieve that they were last year. And then you look at the Eagles. Are the Eagles going to be improved? Of course the Eagles are going to be improved. But some of the people saying they're going to finish 11-6 and 10-7, put the bottle down. Put it down already. It's not happening.
I'm about the can.
6-11, maybe 6-11, 7-10. I see it. Yes, they'll be better. But I'm calling out Daniel Jones right now, and I'm calling out whoever the hell their coach is now and Gellin.
Joe Judge.
Local product from Philly.
Daniel, listen to me. If you can't win with the weapons you have now, you stink. You flat out stink. You stank last year. Any quarterback that trips over his feet at the 15-yard line going in for a touchdown, come on, dude. With this team now, you've got to win the division. You have to win the division. They're the best team in the division right now. Right now.
Wow. So we have 3 different picks because I think Dallas is going to win the division. The odds have Dallas winning the division.
I thought you were going to pick the Nets.
Unfortunately, I can't. Wrong sport. But
hey, what happened to the Knots? I mean,
I'll take the Cowboys. Their over/under win total is 9.5. The over is -130. Unders +110. So they think it's going to go over. I'm going to pick Dallas. That's what the odds say, and I love my analytics, so I'm gonna stick with Vegas, and I'm gonna stick with the numbers.
Take the analytics and flush them.
Much to learn. Much to learn, young Padawan. Much to learn.
Right.
I think you ought to put your money where your mouth is about that. I'll take you up on it.
Now,
pick your poison.
I see Michael Flores, and thank you for tuning in, Michael. And I want to bring up his comment here because he says he sees Dallas going maybe 9-8. That would be more realistic, but he says it will go 9-8. They draft the defense, the holes they need to fill, but I don't see them making the playoffs. Diehard Dallas fan here, but I keep it real. And Michael, by all means, keep coming back because we could have a lot of fun with you when the Eagles face one Dallas, and we can probably ask you to see who they're matching up for the week. So we can get your intake, whether you guys end up winning or losing for that week. So by all means, and I see your NBA question. We'll get to that here in a little bit. So, but thank you, Michael Flores, for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Hey, listen, and again, you can go with the analytics and everything else. I do have, though, something that I said before to someone about Jerry Jones in a particular hole. And I was able to find the actual comment that he said, which, for some people, it might do like just Vince Quinn did. It might turn you upside down a little bit, but this is a little funny from a couple years ago, but Jerry Jones telling the way it is. And by the way, before I play the footage, YouTube, I do not own the rights to this footage, but it is available for public domain. Got to put it out there because if not, they'll shut us down. That's the way it is.
Lying.
But listen to, and it's not a lie, sir, but I will.
I don't want to listen to this clown anymore.
Don't worry about it. This is actually fun.
I think that's
your
leadership is to have some of the guys that have gone before that have been disappointed to share it with everybody involved. For me, it's a reminder. I, too, have been here 23 years. And it is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
There you go. Now, you guys thought that I was kidding around when I said that, and a man wants him some glory hole. I don't know if you ever found it, but yeah, hey, listen, to each his own, coming straight from the mouth. So when someone questions me again, did Jerry Jones really say that? He said it.
Ryan, you were a Cowboys fan. Did he find the glory hole?
Look, I said this before, and I'll say it again about why I left being a Cowboys fan.
Why, you fraud?
It's because of that buffoon. I couldn't take it anymore. The guy has fisted Cowboy Nation for the last 20-some-odd years. Yes, the first 7 years, spectacular. He hasn't done anything since.
Nope.
He always has the hand in the cookie jar. Just be like Robert Kraft. Just be like the Rooneys. Just sit back and be an owner. Hire top-notch football people. Do what's right. And he always says, and I hope, Jerry, one day you see this because I'm talking specifically to you. Do the right thing. You say you care about the fans. You say you want to bring another you really want to bring another championship. Sell the damn team to somebody who cares, who will restore the tradition, who gives a rat's ass, because he doesn't. All he wants to do is he built that damn spaceship that they call a stadium. If you can raise the money to do that, billions of dollars, and you can do that, then you can just sit back and hire top-notch football people across the board and bring Dallas back to prominence, but you won't do it. You know why? Because you are a glory hole. I'll say you're a glory hole. That's what it is.
Crash and burn. Crash and burn.
Everybody knows that Jerry Jones, just like Michael Flores pointed out, and I'm quite sure Vince will agree. The problem with Jerry Jones is he's the only owner that gets too much involvement. And Vince, I could be wrong in saying that, but there's too much Jerry Jones when it comes to Dallas. Any other organization, you barely see it. It's just, for some reason, it's Jerry Jones. I also think the other thing too, Mike McCarthy, as we said it last season, I'll say it again this season, is also not the answer for Dallas. So any thoughts on Dallas, Vince?
Any thoughts on Dallas?
Wait, on Dallas?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, the Jerry Jones thing. I mean, yeah, Jerry at this point, he's wanted to be so involved with everything with the team, and you know what? On some degree, he is good at it. Like, that roster is good. As I hit a stairwell, you know what? I'm getting out of the stairwell for a moment. I'm traveling all over the place. But so, yeah, like you look at that team. The team is good. Like they are good enough that they should win the division. But the problem is that the coaching hire is awful. And they've had problems with the salary cap in the past. Like they haven't been able to maintain it, and they choke in big moments. So for Jerry, he does enough that I get why he's hanging on. But man, I mean, it's not enough to get him over the top. And you look at the way the team's built now. There's nothing that tells you they're going to do it this year. I mean, it's all roster talent and nothing else. You don't have the you don't have the offense, and that's what it's got to be.
I think they have the offense. It's that offensive line and Dak Prescott coming off that injury. That's the real big question. I mean, their defense has been suspect too. Another owner, by the way.
The defense is awful.
Yeah.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When you piss Bill Parcells off after 3 years, where you run him off, hey, the reason ever since you let Jimmy Johnson go, and yes, okay, Barry Switzer won the Super Bowl, but it was all Jimmy Johnson's boys. Ever since then, you've sucked. And there's one common denominator over the last 20-some-odd years. And guess what that is? It's Jerry Jones. It's nobody else. It's Jerry freaking Jones. Sell the team, Jerry. I hope he sees this clip. Do the right thing. Just do the right thing. Stop fisting Cowboy fans already. God almighty.
There's not a chance he'll sell the team because they'll be worth $7 billion before we could even think about it. So
now you got me. Now you got me started, and I won't stop either.
Well, Daniel Snyder was another moronic owner until somebody told him to hire. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, Jerry
Ron
Jones
Rivera.
Jr. Daniel Snyder, Jerry Jones Jr. That's basically what he is.
I hate to say it, but I think Jeff Lurie is kind of getting that way too.
I'll pose the question to Vince. Vince, who's your team?
A little bit.
Who's your football team, Vince?
Who's my The Eagles are my team.
All right, so the Eagles are your team. Now, imagine you had an owner like Jerry Jones for the last 20-some-odd years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, yeah, it's not good. Because you know what? The other thing is, too, like, Jason Garrett was in that job way too long.
Yeah.
How long was he the head coach of that team for?
Since the VCR was out, I think.
Who cares?
10 years.
It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Like, that's crazy, man. That team should have been so much better. They had that 13-3 season. They had Romo for all those years. Like, that team was a joke for all the talent they had. And that is Jerry.
And I could say the same thing to Fuji. God forbid that the Eagles had a coach like Jerry Jones for the last 30-some-odd years. Fuji would be an alcoholic by now. He'd be drinking a case of beer every day if the Eagles had a coach like that. Or, an owner like that. For God's sakes, it's just, and I've said this before, I thought over time the man would have at least said to himself, you know what, maybe I should just try it a different way for maybe 5 years just to see how it goes. But he can't do it. He can't do it. And it's sad. And it sickens me because he's just ruined the tradition. 20 some odd years ago that I think as a Cowboys fan that the Cowboys fan or the Cowboys team would not have made the Super Bowl since 1996, I would have looked at you and called you a buffoon, a moron, but that's what it is. They're on the same level as since they've last made the Super Bowl. I've said this before. They plus 3 other teams are the only NFC teams who haven't made the Super Bowl. The Vikings, the Lions, the Washington football team, and the Cowboys. That's the level that they're on now. That's the level that they're on. And it's sad, and it's BS, and I'm done talking about it because my blood pressure is probably 200 over 110.
Calm down there.
It's right. It's just the way it works. Hey, listen, the other thing I want to get to before we get, I want to get the answer from you as well about who wins the NBA title, but switching gears here, Vince, with Aaron Rodgers, are we going to see Aaron Rodgers again as a Green Bay Packer, or is Aaron figuring out, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to go and play Jeopardy?
Well, yeah, I think he wants to do Jeopardy, and he'd be good with it. I mean, at least for the year, because the whole thing is, I wouldn't be shocked if he retires and doing it as a leverage play, not with the idea that he's actually done, but the idea of like, yeah, you know what, you guys don't want to play me, you're not going to trade, or you're not going to pay me, you're not going to trade me. I'm out of here. I'm just going to walk away, and then he puts the pressure on Green Bay, and they got to figure everything out. Like he hates that organization on a personal level. Like he's got a problem with the GM, and when it's personal like that. I mean, it's just hard to solve. And he's a stubborn guy. He's well established. He feels disrespected. And teams would fall over themselves for Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, I don't think he comes back to Green Bay. I think he's got a better shot of just being outright retired before he plays in Green Bay.
Yes, he does. I agree. And Goose just mentioned there that Ryan needs to be smoking a cigar during Broad Street Smile. During everything. And I just want to, wow, I hear a lot of crackling here. It's Ducky. That's why.
Ducky probably eating pork rinds or something there.
What are you eating over there?
Had some chips. I was just hungry. So.
All right, there you go.
Eating in that college life in Clemson, South Carolina.
Wait, no, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Do we still have what was it, like the 100 packs of hot dogs, or we have slimmed down on the hot dogs?
He's probably done with them by now.
Nah, it's about 2 a night on the hot dogs. Actually, I did have a lovely friend make tacos, so I went over to her place before here and had some tacos. So it was lovely. I had a great time.
Wait,
Tacos.
As far as the Aaron Rodgers thing goes, I would say, where the hell else is he going to go where he thinks he can have a better shot at winning the Super Bowl? And I don't think a team is going to give up what the Packers might ask for him. So, yeah, it's either – and from everything that you hear, everybody expects Aaron Rodgers to be back with the Packers. Everybody on the team, so I don't know where else you're going to go, Aaron, and he might just decide to retire. For all anybody knows. I've said before, I thought he was going to go down the same path as Brett Favre did, and I thought maybe he would go to the Vikings, and I'm not so sure the Packers would want that to happen again, the way it happened the first time around with Brett. But if he went to the Vikings, look at that receiving core. Look at Dalvin Cook. I mean, the defense is another story, but, I mean, other than him going back to the Packers, I just don't see what else he would do other than retire.
Well, Denver was going after him the night of the draft. It was almost a done deal from some rumors.
Multiple resources.
Speculation.
Yeah.
Rumor was in Green Bay last week that Aaron Rodgers re-upped a country club membership for another year. Believe it or not, it came out. Now, is that just the front for him to get the hell out of Green Bay? Or what is it, 20 grand maybe? Just freaking peanuts to him, but hey, you never know.
Yeah, I did love that story. I saw when that came out, and all these people were like, "Oh my God, he's going to stay!" And it was like, "All right, guys, relax. Like, let's not get too carried away about a country club membership." But I love you piece together anything you can. I mean, it's just how everybody is. You see anything like when guys tweet out like, a guy's having a problem with the team, and he tweets out just like one emoji, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, what does this emoji mean?"
Yeah, exactly.
I love that stuff.
It's the overhyped stuff. But hey, just to let you know, Vince, just in case you ever, and or even Aaron Rodgers, need something good, you can go right to Goose's Monte Crystal Lounge and Tobacconist over at 250, and he's right up the road from you, 250 West Ridge Pike in Limerick, Pennsylvania. 19468. In case you need the zip code, Google Maps, you can find it. But if you need the finest cigars, and I'm pretty sure last time we did, matter of fact, now that I think about it, last time we didn't go take a nice trip. And matter of fact, he'll probably even deliver it over to Last Time Media so you guys can celebrate that good. What was the comment? I think he said it was a 70 Cleveland. Let me come back to my man here, Goose. 70 ring Cleveland or CLE Cleveland. I don't want to say Cleveland because it could be the wrong thing, but if you need the finest cigars, by all means, go to Goose's place. He'll hook you up. And Goose, by the way, is hooking up later on, and we're still getting all the details. But Leslie Goodell, who was our guest earlier on this month is June. Last month. She's having a golf tournament, which will be released a little bit later on, but Goose is going to be part of the golf tournament. So check out Goose over at soon to be told, or what is it? Always a thing, not soon to be.
To be announced.
There you go. To be determined. There you go.
To be determined.
TBA.
Yeah.
That's why we
TBA,
have
yeah.
five.
So, and again, so if you need a great cigar, by all means, visit Goose's place. He's got great cigars. One thing I want to get around to is the NBA. And tonight, Ducky, who is not playing?
Bucks Hawks tonight they're actually probably playing right now.
Yep, but I'm saying who's not playing tonight in the series.
Trae Young is out tonight because he has a sprained ankle.
So, Vince, you know that Milwaukee and Atlanta right now, Milwaukee leads the series 2-1. Phoenix, which looks like they were going to actually walk away with the series. Now the Clippers have made it a 3-2. They force a game 6. Between those two, because we still have to see a finals, I guess I'll instead of picking the NBA finals first, out of Milwaukee, Atlanta, who wins that series?
Oh, well, now that Trae Young's hurt, it's over for Atlanta. It's been fun, though. It's weird to say because they beat the Sixers and all that, but, I got to tell you, they were a fun team, man. They played hard. They talked a lot of smack. I got a lot of respect for what they did. Nobody thought they were going to be this good. I mean, when they played New York, it was like a coin flip of what they were going to do in that series. To beat the Sixers and win significant games down tons of points on the road, it's part of the catastrophic flop of the Sixers, but part of it is the Hawks just kept playing. I mean, that is a tough team. But man, without Trae Young, they're just done. They don't have the firepower at this point. Milwaukee's too good. Giannis has made a big step in the playoffs this year. Middleton's been crazy good for them in certain stretches in the playoffs. So Milwaukee's the better team. It's just a matter of time with that. And I guess that's the only one we're talking about for now. So yeah, for that series, I'm going with the Bucks. It's too easy at this point.
All right. And I'll get the take from young Ducky here because we know that his Nets were also exited out early because Ducky thought that the Nets were actually going to win it all, but he was unfortunate that balloon just popped because it didn't happen. But it's okay. It happens. So, Nick, for you, who wins the series between Milwaukee and Atlanta?
I think, like Vince said, I think Milwaukee is just too good. I think Giannis is playoff Giannis at times looked a little bit like Ben Simmons, where he would be a little bit too passive or he would try to just dribble too much. And he's kind of overcome that. The free throw thing, it makes me so mad the NBA doesn't call the 10-second violation on him. It makes me so upset because that's a rule. What the hell? If it's a rule, you follow it. But it is what it is. I think Giannis is an incredible player. I think this is his year to go get the chips. So I wanted the Hawks to win just because they're 2 hours from me, and I was maybe going to go to a game. But I'm proud of Giannis. I'm proud of Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday's had his big moments as well. So I'll take the Bucks, and I think they probably win in 5.
All right, Ryan.
Oh boy, you know what?
They'll go against the green.
No, I'm gonna say. The Bucks probably in 6. I think the Hawks still have another win in them somewhere. Trae may come back for game 5, but I think Milwaukee wins this game tonight. I think maybe if Trae comes back and tries to pull like a Willis Reed or something like that, they may steal 5, only be down 3-2. But then I just think the Bucks close it out in 6. And then, on the other side of the equation, I'll tell you what, man, the Suns might regret not closing it out last night because I think the Clippers are going to win game 6. And I think game 7 is going to be a battle. Oh my God, that's just so tough because the Clippers have just been so damn resilient. I think it's going to be Bucks Clippers. I'll go out on a limb and call it now. And like I said before the playoffs started, I tried to tell everybody, everybody was on certain teams, and I said, wouldn't it be something that the one year the Bucks go into the playoffs, which is this year, with no expectations on them, because nobody expected them to really do anything this year, other than like maybe go first, second round and then cave, and here they are, and it would just be something after all these last 2, 3, 4 years that this would be the year that they do it. I still think the Bucks are going to win the title.
Okay, it's a great thing that we decided to go with Milwaukee, Atlanta. You decided to go all the way around the table, but it's all right. It works. It's fine. Fuji, Milwaukee or Atlanta?
I'd stick Milwaukee because Giannis, and they just seem like they got more of the firepower. I mean, they got a hell of a start in 5, and with Young going down, that's just a big blow with his foot or ankle, and I think Milwaukee's going to just go right to it.
Okay. No, listen, we'll see Milwaukee. I believe Milwaukee pulls out the win as well. So quickly here, we'll go with Phoenix and the LA Clippers, since we already got Ryan's take on it. Vince?
Well, first off, credit to the Clippers for getting this far, man. Yeah, that team is resilient as hell for all the stuff that they've been through, and to be down in all these different series, and people expecting them to fail, and to lose Kawhi. Like, Kawhi was crazy, man. I mean, he was one of my favorite things about the whole playoffs, and for him to go down was just brutal. So for them to still play well, for Paul George to be the leader on that team, and they're still hanging in there, like, that, a lot of credit to them. Ty Lue, which, by the way, does not make the Sixers look better, by the way, to see Ty Lue doing the job that he's doing with the Clippers compared to what Doc Rivers did with the Clippers, and then firing Doc. But, as much as I like the Clippers and what they're doing, the Suns are just better. Like, the talent of that team, man. I mean, all these guys that they rotate in, and the ability to create shots and all that. Ayton has been out of control good. So I look at that team, and Ayton is really the thing that seals it for me. I think otherwise it's really close and down to the wire, but he's just been such a big deal that I think over the next couple of games, it's going to be too much. Clippers are going to keep it close, but it's just too much, and I'm giving it to the Suns.
Okay. Ducky?
Vince, I agree with you again, but I think something fascinating to watch in Game 5 was when DeAndre Ayton was subbed out of the game. The Clippers subbed in DeMarcus Cousins because they knew Cousins was bigger and stronger than Dario Saric. So they put Cousins in the post. And then when Ayton came back in the game, the Clippers would go small with Morris at center or Batum at center. It was a very interesting chess match to watch, just because it was like, they're going to go small now. Oh, the Suns are going big, we're going small. The Suns are going small, we're going big. It was just so fascinating to watch. But I think at the end of the day, I think DeAndre Ayton had 9 shot attempts last night. Like, that's not happening Game 6. Like, he's getting probably 15, 16, 17 shots. So I think the Suns pull it out in Game 6. And I'm really rooting for Chris Paul because, man, that guy deserves a ring. And I think he can get it. I think even if he matches up with the Bucks, I do think Booker and Ayton have been so deadly this playoffs that they're going to carry it over to the finals.
All right. Booge?
Say the Suns, but I mean, after last night, as Ryan and Vince were saying, I think the momentum could have shifted a little bit. I mean, Tyronn Lue, I think he's kind of like finally being a little recognized as possibly being a good coach. So I'll say the Suns right now, but I think the Clippers are going to go down without a fight. So. And Phoenix pulls it out.
Well, we'll see. And again, I think with Phoenix going the way they're going right now, the Clippers, you're right, Vince, as far as look how far they've come throughout the season and how much they had to deal with. I'm so glad that the Lakers and Braun is not there. But that's just, another story for another day with another show. But anyways, Lakers aren't there. Clippers are there. But I believe that Phoenix not only wins the series, but also beats the Bucks in 7 games for the NBA title. So You heard it here first. I think the Suns actually might make a surprising run this year, and we'll see because there's a lot to still go on. I know we've got a couple more minutes left with you, so I want to get real quick here as far as the NHL finals obviously are going on. Tampa Bay Lightning won Game 1 last night, 5-1, a commanding win. Game 2 tomorrow night at the Emily Arena in Tampa. I'll be down there with the fans having a lot of fun. But who do you think wins the Stanley Cup?
So I can give you no analysis of the game whatsoever. What I can give you is a strong rooting interest, which is the Montreal Canadiens, baby. Let's go. For all the chaos that they brought upon that city just for getting to the Stanley Cup, how is Canada going to handle finally having a Stanley Cup champion for the first time in forever? Like, I would love to see that. It's exciting as hell to me. I am all for the chaos when it comes to the NHL. That is chaos in the best way, and I'm rooting for it. So for Tampa, I mean, I know you guys are in the area. I don't know if you want them to win or not. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it, but I'm just rooting for Montreal, and that's all I got. That's my only dog in the fight.
That's a good listen. Kim Perron will join you there because she's a big Habs fan, thanks to Bernie Perron and, of course, the old Canada connection. But me personally, I'd rather see, since Pittsburgh has been the last ones to do the back-to-back, and I can't stand crying Sidney Crosby, I would like to see Tampa Bay win it back-to-back. One is because it was a lot of fun going to the parade last year, the boat parade. That was amazing within itself, just having fun with it. And then because Tampa right now has such a stronghold in the NHL, and has always been said, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And right now, Tampa Bay looks like they are the best team in the NHL. And I can almost say they could be back there again for a third year in a row, because this team could be completely signed once again, barring one or two contracts, but I think Tampa Bay ends up taking it. Fuji, I know he's another Tampa Bay fan, but he's probably going to pick Montreal. So, Fuji, who's your pick?
I really don't like either. I don't want to see Montreal because they have, what, 24 to 26 Stanley Cups. Second overall in sports behind the Yankees. I guess I got to say Tampa, but not by much.
Love the energy.
Yeah, that was fun. Nick, yeah, bring the energy up, Nick. Bring it up.
Well, look, I'm picking the Lightning. I went to Amalie Arena when I was in Tampa and I met Angel. I actually got a tour of that arena. Beautiful arena, by the way. Ooh, that voice crack. But beautiful arena. Got all the great guest suites and clubs and all that kind of stuff. So it was cool to see. I'm picking Tampa just because I've also been to the Syracuse Crunch Stadium, the American League hockey team. Shout out to the Crunch. And Vasilevsky is an incredible goalie, and I love me Nikita Kucherov and some Steven Stamkos. So I'll take the Lightning in 6. Go Bolts.
All right. Neff.
Well,
and that's enough from Neff. So anyways, no.
I mean, Tampa Bay beat the Islanders 8-0 one game, and then the Islanders came back and beat them. So I don't see a 5-1 score happening in Game 2. I said before the series started, I thought that Tampa Bay would win it in 7. I'll stick with it. I just think Montreal has come too far, and they've battled. They were down 3-1 against the Maple Leafs first round, found a way to do it, and I just think the Canadiens are going to find, even though I'm not a Canadiens fan, I just think the Canadiens find a way to take this to Game 7, and Tampa wins game number 7 on their home ice.
Okay, we'll see. And by the way, even if, just saying, even if Montreal is last, because obviously it can be first if they end up losing, who won't be last is Last Out Media. So you got to throw it in there with a little twist here. Last Out Media, if you guys go to lastoutmedia.com, and I'll bring even that one up because it's a cool site. And actually, I noticed that it's also a bit of a change here. But if you go to Last Out Media,
the site is junk right now. We're going through some maintenance right now. So we're going to be changing some things over. And all I'm going to say, because I can't exactly say what we're doing yet, but all I can say is we have some big plans, and we'll be letting you know soon. So the site is what it is for now. But things are on the way, so keep an eye on us. Keep an eye on us.
Listen, but you can still go out to Last Out Media, and you can check out the stories. You can check out all the podcasts of the guys and girls they have on there. So you guys can check them out. By the way, again, it's a great group. You guys see it's right there in Feastville, Pennsylvania. So not that far away from Goose's, but you guys can check it out over in Feasterville. And hey, listen, Vince, it doesn't matter. These guys, I mean, you guys put on a good outfit out there. And again, I know there's things that are going on that you really can't talk about. And I guess I should have mentioned to the guys. Well, Last Time Media didn't want to say, well, we're being hired by Last Time Media. That's far stretched. That's a lie. I'm making up stories here to close out the night. But listen, again, you guys are doing good things, though. Honestly, God, you really are with Last Time Media. And I mean, John Crane, John Barchard, and John Barchard, congratulations to the little baby he had not too long ago.
Yeah.
And Vince, you're constantly busy because you're still running to New York, correct? At the end of the week, every weekend, just about.
Well, yeah, no, I'm working every weekend with CBS. I got that going on. So Saturday into Sunday morning, 2 a.m. to 6. That's the early bird hours. It's technically a morning show, so I'll take it for what it is. It's technically a morning show, and just keep doing that. So the studio, I'm just running to New York. I'm running to Philly. I'm all over the place.
Yeah,
Sound like Jody Mack.
I am. I follow Jody Mack. Like, his show was on before mine at CBS, and now I'm doing Jody Mack things. Like, Jody's on so many stations and all that he'll accidentally give out the wrong number on the wrong station. You know what I mean? Like, he'll give out the CBS number on WIP and WIP's number on CBS, and like, I'm doing that now. You know what I mean? Like, I've become Jody Mack, which is great because Jody's a legend. So that's all good with me.
Hey, listen, it's okay. Everybody starts somewhere, but it's cool to see when John and I, John Barcher and I have known each other for years, and it's just cool to see from where they started, from where he started, leaving 94 WIP, starting his own thing with you guys, partnering up with you guys here. It's amazing to see when good people get together, man, and you get good vibes and good momentum. A lot of great things happen. So again, much success to you guys over at Last Time Media. Give them my best from the whole entire gang here from Broad Street South. Maybe not as much as Vito, because Vito, he's in his own world. Not much from him, but it's okay. We understand. But listen, we know that you have to run because you have other things to attend to this evening. But Vince, anytime, come back on. The next time we come back on, matter of fact, it'll be right around when training camp is just about to start. So, Vince, always great to have you on. Thank you for stopping by. I know it was kind of last minute, but thank you so much for coming in.
Hey, fellas, I'm glad we can make it work. It's good to hang out again with the crew down at Broad Street South. You guys have been great to us at Last Out. We appreciate you, and we'll be in touch. Yeah, let's talk soon.
All right.
Thanks for coming on, Vince.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy, fellas.
Have a great night.
You too. Have a good one.
Hey, I have a quick question for you, Angel, and for the rest of the team, because you had mentioned LeBron. Do you think LeBron's officially out of his prime?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Bron is done. He doesn't want to admit it. LeBron James will never admit that he's out of his prime. I know he's trying to wait desperately. Did he?
I mean, he said after his high ankle sprain that he'll never be 100% again.
Yeah, but okay.
Tough injury to come back from.
Yeah, but you can also take that kind of with a grain of salt because it unless he completely admits that he's not well, but no, I think LeBron's. I know he's trying to wait until his son gets in. He would love to have that matchup, which I think if LeBron decides to step down, whomever at a time when his son gets ready to get drafted, I'm pretty sure LA will make some magic work and this and that, and he'll take over his dad's spot. I don't see LeBron being able to hang in there until his son gets drafted by a team and he's able to play against them just because Father Time has caught up to LeBron James. Do I believe, as Dave is saying right here, good night, do I believe that LeBron is overrated? Yeah. Okay, I'm not a huge LeBron fan. I'm not a huge LeBron fan, and I will still say to this day that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron at his best, and even Kobe Bryant is better than LeBron James at his best. I'm sorry, it's too much from LeBron. I understand that you want to chase rings like other people. You went to Miami, you had a big spectacle on ESPN. You decided to, hey, you know what? I'm LeBron James. I can do whatever I want to. I think it was a slap to Cleveland's face when he did it. I personally would approach the owner. I would have said, listen, thank you for drafting me. Thank you for making this my first home, but I'm moving on to Miami. I know he didn't get the opportunity coming out of high school, going into the pros. I get all that, but it should have been handled differently. And I'm not basing it just upon that. It's just LeBron. Yeah, does he have game and everything else? It's too much. For me, it's too much when it comes to LeBron James. And you can go into tonight. We all know he's going to be somewhere, whether he's going to be an NBA in order, which I believe he will be. I know LeBron James will be picked to be in the booth. He'll be picked to maybe even go back to run Cleveland. But I think ultimately, LeBron James will become an NBA owner. Now, Will I hate him if he becomes an NBA owner? Which I don't hate LeBron, because let me make that clear before anybody says anything else. I think LeBron would actually be a good NBA owner, because what that man has, which I will give him a lot of credit for, he is like a computer. Like, you can ask him about a certain game at a certain time at a certain minute, and the man spits out the information like that. So that I can't take away from LeBron. He does an excellent job remembering a lot of key factors in the games he has played and even other games he has watched. But as an owner, I think LeBron James would actually be I think, matter of fact, I can almost say a fantastic NBA owner. But we'll see. That's years to come. And who knows? Maybe Ducky, maybe he'll become the new Brooklyn Nets owner when the time comes around. Maybe he decides,
Right.
hey, never know.
Right. Sure. Okay. I have my piece. I think that the LeBron Jordan debate, I think it's a generational debate, because everyone older than me thinks Jordan's the GOAT. Everyone younger than me thinks LeBron's the GOAT. I think it's just generations arguing with each other by who's better. And I think we mask it with the LeBron Jordan debate. So I'm not really going to try to get into that. But I love LeBron, and I hate to say it because I'm a huge LeBron guy. I love what he does for his community. Even though the whole Miami thing came off quite bad, at the end of the day, that was for charity. That's the whole reason he did it. He did it for the Boys and Girls Club. But yeah, I mean, I think that ankle sprain ended up really hurting him. I think next year he'll be like the number 2 option, but in 3-4 years time, he is going to end up being that 4th or 5th option that can shoot in the corner and maybe make a couple passes every now and then. Only plays like 20 minutes a night, but it's super sad to see my one of my favorite childhood basketball players start to slowly fade away.
No, can't be father time. I mean, look at Michael Jordan going to the Wizards in Charlotte.
Yeah.
I mean, the party was over.
Yeah.
Look,
I mean,
when you spend $1 million a year on being in shape, he will come back in some sort of fashion next year. He'll spend his mill on personal trainers and stuff like that. He is just going to have to curtail his game to a different fashion now going forward. So, does he pass his prime? Well, of course he is. I mean, he's people act like he's Tom Brady. I mean, people are acting like he's 43. I mean, he came into the league at 17. What's he now? 34. He'll be 35 this year.
He's
right?
36. He's 36.
36 now. So he probably will curtail his game for the next 2 years. And what the Lakers really need, I mean, Anthony Davis is going to be the main option going forward. I mean, if they keep the nucleus of the team, but the Lakers are going to have to bring in a couple of more people to take the pressure off of LeBron. And whether they do, maybe they can do a 41-game load management or something like that, where he only plays home games and doesn't play away games. I mean, who knows what they're going to do with him? But is he past his prime? Yes. Is he done playing basketball? No.
No, of course not. I think he's got 5 more years in the league, but I think he's got 1 more year being the guy. He's got 2 more years of being the number 2, and he's got 2 more years of being the vet off the bench, or the vet that's in the starting lineup and is the 4th option. But
and I saw Goose's quote just now about Kareem being the GOAT. You're always going to get – this is why I hate having debates about, like, the greatest of all time lists and stuff like this. I hate getting into arguments about it because there's too many good players over the 100 years of football or 100 and some odd years of baseball or however many years of the NBA or whatnot. I've had uncles tell me that the greatest freaking player that they saw was Wilt Chamberlain. But Wilt Chamberlain only has 1 title, 2 titles, or whatever it is, and that's what holds him back. So, what is the definition of the greatest of all time? And that's why, hey, is it championships? Is it stats? Is it the combination of both? Is it overall? I don't like getting into arguments about it. And yes, like my generation, Angel's generation, it was the Jordan era, It was the Larry Bird era, it was the Magic Johnson era, it was. And then the generation before us, it was Kareem and Wilt Chamberlain and Oscar Robertson and Jerry West. So you're going to get different arguments from different people, and that's why I don't like getting in the greatest of all time arguments.
Nobody ever brings up Bill Russell with 11 titles.
Correct.
11 rings.
In football, nobody brings up. Everyone talks about Tom Brady being 7-3 in Super Bowls. Otto Graham made 10 straight NFL championship games. The man went 7-3 back in the 40s and 50s. You know what the pushback I get is? Come on, man. That was the 40s and 50s. There were only like 10 teams. I don't care in any era. In any era, if you make 10 NFL championship games and you go 7-3, and I'm glad Troy Aikman brings Otto Graham up all the time on broadcast when people start talking about GOATs. And Troy Aikman always says, I wish people would talk about Otto Graham more. Go back and take a look at what he did, the championships that he won, the stats that he put up back then. I'm sorry. The greatest of all time, like in football, didn't start when the Super Bowl started. You know, Major League Baseball, the greatest of all time, didn't start in the 50s and 60s. If you're going to talk about greatest of all time in any era, you have to go back through the entire history of the sport. And that's why I would like to see people do, or what lists come every 20 years of that sport, come up with your greatest of all time list for that era. Maybe not of all time for that era, because you're just like running backs. Some people will say it was Walter Payton. Some people say, hey, look at what Jim Brown did in a 14-game schedule or a 12-game schedule. The stats he put up in only 9 seasons. What if he would have played as long as Emmitt Smith? Or, you know, look at what Barry Sanders did. Imagine what Barry Sanders would have done if he had an offensive line. I don't like arguing about it, because you could get into like hours and hours upon hours of conversations about it. And and like David said right there about Bill Russell, the 11 rings. So, you know, when you talk about LeBron, you know, is he one of the greats of all time? Absolutely. But I just don't like the greatest of all time term, because I just don't think you can determine it.
No, it's true. And Tom says, good to see John Facenda get into the Hall of Fame.
The frozen thunder of Lambeau.
That's right.
Was an accurate Channel 10 News for years. He did the NFL films.
Speaking of NFL films and stuff, big retirement today. I think a big surprise from the Sixers end. Who saw that coming? Yeah. I didn't see that one coming. I don't think anybody actually saw that coming, because it just kind of came out of the blue.
Maybe this choke in the playoffs put him into retirement.
It could have been. First time I learned about it was Derek Gunn put out a tweet about it, saying that Mark was coming down for a landing. And I thought it was kind of like one of those stories, like what was it, April Fool's, when the Tar Heels coach had retired?
Roy Williams.
Yeah. So I thought it was one of those things too, but apparently not. So, you know, Mark, thank you for the many years as the Sixers announcer, the Sixers voice. You will be deeply missed. And if anybody wants to get the Sixers fired up, by all means, please reach out to Vito Corleone, the best in the business, and he will get your team fired up. So Sixers, just saying, if you want your colored commentator on, by all means, matter of fact, I'll combine Dave Harris with Vito Corleone, and there you go. There's your dual matchup. And then we'll have Tom Fogarty on the floor, kind of like when
sideline reporter
is behind it. There you go. So we'll get everybody involved. Coach Ducky, I got to find a spot for Coach Ducky to be involved in that as well.
I think you guys would probably rather have him than Doc Rivers, based on what I read about the Philadelphia 76ers nowadays.
He's in Brooklyn.
Yeah. And by the way, Mike Flores, Mike Flores, if you're still watching, you didn't put down there who. Oh no, you did. He did. Milwaukee versus Suns finals. I apologize. He did. So that was his pick for, as he mentioned, who's going to end up winning the title there. No, but listen, and there's, speaking of Coach Ducky, there he is. Coach Ducky, we were just talking about as far as like, you know, our matchups, who's going to be in the booth and everything else. We're going to put Fuji up there because I think Fuji, I'll make sure, listen, the Sixers owner and I were like this, and I'll talk to him. Put in a good word for you. Just got to get brushed up with all the team names. Huh?
What's his name?
He's the owner of the Sixers. That's his name.
Right.
The owner of the Sixers.
Yeah. Josh Harris.
Yeah, everybody knows it, but it's just it's all about fun. But hey, things can happen. Dave says, "Thank you. That would be awesome." And
that's a hard job to replace, by the way. That becoming an announcer like that, because it's like your fans have listened to that same voice over and over and over again for all those years. It's really, really hard for someone to come in and take that job. And that's one of the toughest jobs to find in the industry is that job right there, because once you're in it for 20, 30 years.
No, you're in it, and it takes a while to build that chemistry and everything else. People think it's easy and stuff to be able to do this. We know in the NFL, if no one's ever paid attention, when Merrill Reese is doing, along with Mike Quick, as they're doing the play-by-play call, there's a gentleman just to the left of Merrill who's got the binoculars on, and because you got to think about it, between how many guys have changed the numbers, how many guys have been on the team and everything else, especially when you're talking about an away team. You know, to remember all those names and numbers, it doesn't happen. So there's a guy, of course, to his left that will read who's coming on the play and who's in, and then who made, whether it was a sack, the tackle, whatever, and then quickly comes over to Merrill. So there's a big part of a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes. But when you're trying to do color commentary, and if you're not doing it in front of the screen, as we are here as podcasters, but when you're doing it on radio, you have to, like, literally as a fan, kind of close your eyes and listen into everything that's going on, because in order to do so, you really have to sell that game. It's not like what I say. You cannot be, just Joe Blow and here we go. We have what's that? Embiid. Is that his name? Embiid, right?
Can't be Fuge yelling at Doc Rivers for 5 minutes every quarter.
But how great would that be, though? Honest to God, how great would that be if Fuji went on a rant with Doc Rivers? And you'd imagine Fuji just sitting there like, hey, listen, the Sixers need to turn around. I'm not going to do a Fuji voice because I'm not going to screw around with his voice. But you would imagine Fuji is like getting beat red on, and no one would be able to see it because it would just be in the background. But having Fuji like, did Joel Embiid just do that? Where the hell is Doc? Hey, Doc, where is he? Like, that would be incredible. There's no way in the world you can tell me people would not tune in week in and week out with Fuji going nuts.
Sixers watch-along games with Mike Fuji as your color commentator 2021-2022 season.
Sideline reporter, Mike Fuji Corleone. Doc, what are you doing? Where's the heart? Where's the heart, Doc? Put him beat at the 5, put Harris at the 4. What are you doing, Doc?
That's what you would end up hearing.
He might, I don't know.
Listen, that would be fantastic. It would be fantastic. It'd be so great. But hey, Joe Sharp, a good friend of the show here. He says, hello, all. Just woke up from a giant nap, LOL. And by the way, 2 weeks ago, we played his one video from his take on AWOL Nation. Joe sent me another video today, and I wish actually I had it up and loaded. The guy's got some pipes, man. He's got some pipes, and if I remember, I'll bring it up for Thursday's show. He's got some pipes, and the one song that I heard, it gets you moving. So, Joe, thank you for sharing it with me as always. But very, very good take by Joe Sharp. He's got his short hair. By beginning long in the video, he had long hair. But you know what? He did a fantastic job. And Joe, if you're still in Giants of Genesis, if I remember correctly, is the band name, or it could be backwards, one of the two. But good job by Joe. Why is Fuji got his? What's he doing? He's got his mic muted.
He's being a wise, you know what?
Wise ass. I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, find it?
I saw it.
You couldn't find it? Why not?
What's that?
He couldn't say the word wise ass.
Well, that's one of the words I was looking for. I can't say the other one.
It's a free call.
It's a family show.
Yeah.
Well, it started otherwise, but yeah, it is a family show. And Dave Strizak, hello from Boston. I saw you earlier. And
Hey, Dave.
Wicked hide. You got to take the car to the bar.
How many yards will Will Smith have this year?
Which Smith? Devontae?
Yeah, let's assume he means Devonta Smith. Over under 1,000. Over under 1,000 yards.
973.
I'm going to say he gets hurt at some point because that's the Eagles' luck. I'll say he gets to about.
Oh, come on,
dude.
Good Lord.
Can you delete him on the show?
If you said he's because he's slim, I would have understood you. But come on, how was that necessary?
Eagles.
I know Eagles fans don't care because I'll say
I don't really care what you say.
65 receptions for about 800 yards.
That's what their pick last year had, right? Jalen Reagor, right? Didn't he have like 860 yards?
Yeah.
So I'll go
If
if Devontae plays all 17 games, I'll go with 1,100 because I think Jalen might have a hard time getting the deep ball out, especially at the beginning of the season. But I will go with about 1,100 yards and about 80 receptions.
For who?
For Devonta Smith.
I'll take that bet. I'll pay for your
I would
haircut
too.
when December. When the
Don't even
season's
pay for my
over.
haircut.
At the end of the season, he has 1,100 yards. I'll pay for your haircut.
You can pay for my haircut and some hair gel too.
I got my haircut for free yesterday, so I'm good actually, believe it or not.
Look like you're really getting nothing cut off.
Passionate Patriot fan.
I got the sides cleaned up and I got a little bit of the top off.
Yeah, here we go. I don't have to
It's
worry about that right now, my friends.
Yeah. Goose
Look like
says,
Lyle love it.
if I can find a picture, I'll bring it up. Good Lord. We're just on a roll tonight. Wow. That was a big one. All right. Hold on. Rebound from that one. Good Lord. Ducky.
Leave it to Fuji.
It's good that we have a young Ducky here because
He can't even. He got himself on mute. He can't even put himself in regular mic.
No, I got my mic on.
He can't. Even,
Fuji.
he can't even. He's got to mute himself. Look at him. He's laughing.
Exactly. It's all right. It's all right. So listen, Goose says, hey guys, we have a passionate Patriot fan and Dana Grillo tuning in tonight. Dana, thank you for tuning in. And by the way, hey Goose, if you can ask Dana, did she follow? I know she's a Patriots fan and I got tons of family up there in New England, but did she follow Tom Brady down here to just Tom, not the rest of the Patriots? Did she happen to follow Tom down here in Tampa? So if you can ask for that, that would be great. And holy moly,
He's not going to be able to stop him now.
No.
He won't be able to stop laughing the rest of the time he's on.
I was thinking of something else.
Yeah. Okay, family friendly. Let's rewind that one. Make sure then we get back full circle here. Dougie says that's why we're the underdogs for a reason. Dave follows up with Smith will win Rookie of the Year. It could happen. It very well could happen. Tom says just looked it up. Regular head.
Tom, I'm so sorry. That makes no sense, unfortunately, my pal.
Yeah, 562
My
total
friend.
yards. Hey, all right, Fuji.
Oh my God.
It's spinning out of control here, but it's all right. And Joe says, will Fletcher Cox be traded in 2022 and why? I think
I would say so. I believe there was an article out a couple weeks ago regarding this may be Fletcher Cox's last season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the money he's making, and he is getting older, so I wouldn't be shocked. I mean,
He'll be 32 next season. He's 31 this season.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't produce this year and the way he should be producing, then
plus he's the highest paid Eagle right now. So
I mean, he needs to have a big year this year for him to continue with the team, I would think, or you're gonna try and get some sort of value for him.
I'm surprised they didn't make him take a pay cut like everybody else, especially to get more under the cap.
He signed a 6-year deal, so that's probably why.
I have to ask Howie about that.
Yeah, but every other player on this team took a pay cut. Why not him?
Call Howie.
Who makes him any?
Call Howie up.
Yeah, I'll get right on it after.
Should we ask Mr.
You're the Howie connection. Call Howie up. Ask him why he didn't ask him to take a pay cut.
Hey.
Exactly. And by the way, that this might get Fuji going back all over again, but in case you're too young, if you're watching the show and you don't know who he is,
I know he's going to do it. There he is.
There's Lyle Lovett.
Wow. Wow, thanks, guys.
The
Thanks.
hair.
It's the hair.
It's
dude.
the hair, not the
the way
face.
you
It's
look.
not that ugly
Not
mug.
like this.
No. Hey, it's spot on. It's spot on, gentlemen. It's spot on.
It's not that ugly mug. It's that hair.
Oh my
Listen,
goodness.
But Nick, that goes to show you how much love not only did the viewers have for you, but that we have for you as well. So again, hey, but he was able to pull Julia Roberts, so he must have done something right. He must have done something right.
Definitely. Probably
Must
the
have
hair.
been drunk at the altar.
Could happen. Let's see.
Oh, he meant Rager, not
Yeah.
head. He said Rager.
Yeah, that's okay. It
Okay.
happens. You know what it is? Because when you put in a name and the automatic spell check throws it off to something it hasn't learned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, man.
So, and it's he. Sorry. He actually lives in Chicago now. How do you feel about Brady now, Dana? So I guess he'll answer us here momentarily.
I guess we'll figure out that.
Yep. We'll figure it out. Ducky says Eagles are done if they trade Fletcher. No, they're not done.
No, they're not.
They're not done. No, Coach. That's why I will disagree with you. The Eagles will not be done if they trade Fletcher Cox. You can
I
figure
think
about
it's
that one.
possibly maybe time to move on, depending on what he does this year, and if he don't take a pay cut for next year. Thanks for the memories. Hey, they come.
He has to produce this year in some sort of decently good fashion, because if he doesn't, then yes, next year they're going to trade him.
Well, it's a cutthroat business.
It
I mean,
is.
they let Malcolm Jenkins walk. I mean, he was a big part of that Super Bowl core.
Yeah, Ducky still. He says not be done that line of defensive line. Listen, we've Fletcher Cox. Yeah, he's getting up there as well, barring his injuries and everything else. But if Fletcher Cox gets traded, I don't see why the Eagles end up falling apart. Especially now with Nick Sirianni at the helm here, a young coach. I'm pretty sure he'll end up doing his due diligence as needed. But I don't see the Eagles falling apart if they decide to let go as far as when it comes to Fletcher.
At the end of the day, it's all about how well you draft.
Yeah, it's true. Joe says, will Quez Watkins get more opportunities this year under Sirianni? I believe so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think he's going to be a big part of the offense, especially now this young receiving core.
By the way, go ahead, Fooch.
So I was going to say, my question is, will Howie go out and at least get a veteran receiver? Maybe somebody caught by the end of the training camp, because they could use a veteran wide receiver just to help these young guys.
Could be. And by the way, you guys, as we have a couple minutes left here on the show, if you guys have any questions for us whatsoever, please post them up there. We're getting to comments and questions tonight. And thanks for all the great comments, you guys. Between Dave, again, thanks for coming back. Mike Flores, for Tom, who's been around for the longest, along with Dave Strizak. You know,
Joey B.
every week. Yep, Joey B.
Where is Joey B?
Never forget my man, Joey B.
Joey chimed in earlier, but he's been pretty quiet after that. I know he's got a lot of stuff going on, but he
is he still in Hawaii?
No, he's back.
No.
Still taking in those balmy breezes?
Nah, he's back.
Wow.
Dave says it's time to move on from Fletcher Cox, and with Fletcher Cox being on the defensive line, no one's running the ball in the Eagles. But still, listen again, Coach. This probably be one of those bigger debates. We know that what Fletcher can do, but I don't see this team. Who knows what can even happen with Fletcher Cox coming up this year? But again, there are a lot of these answers, or a lot of answers to these questions will be answered as minicamp rolls around. We'll see what the guys are doing. Thankfully, we have some insiders who give us a little more insight of what's going on as far as the team. But hey, next month we'll start seeing all these things happening, because right now you're talking about, even in Jacksonville, there was an article out that a former QB trying to become a tight end may not even end up making a roster. As far as altogether, he's part of the 90-man. Apparently, the college head coach turned pro head coach is saying otherwise. But hey, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So
yeah, but even with Fletcher Cox last year, toward the end of the season, they weren't all that stout against the run. When you think in the beginning of the year they were last year, they were great against the run. But as the season went on, even with Fletcher in the lineup, they started to tail off toward the end of the year against the run.
Right.
Well, so did the whole team. They just all quit simultaneously. That's what it felt like. But
You know, if you go statistically, yes, the Eagles last year were first half of the season they were stout against the run. But you go back and take a look at the second half of the season against the run last year, the Eagles really started to tail off.
Well,
So
they ran out of gas.
they just did. And
Defense was on the field too long. I'll get the
You know,
time of possession.
and Food, you remember there was a couple of weeks there last year, 2 or 3 weeks, where Fletcher Cox was getting hammered by
Oh,
everybody.
yeah.
Yeah, because he just disappeared.
Yep.
And
Unfortunately.
Brandon
And,
Graham had the Pro Bowl season.
Yep. Dougie, whoops, hold on, Joe. I'll get back to your comment here, but Dougie had followed up with, anyway, what's up with Jason Peters? JP's done.
Hopefully retired in retirement. Thanks for the memories, but Father Time caught up with Mr. Peters.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to answer that anymore when it comes to JP. JP needs to be done anyways. Joe says, hey, Mr. Chiefs fan, will the Chiefs make it back to the Super Bowl this year with a retooled offensive line?
I'll tell you what, they've had a hell of a run. Go back and take a look at what the stats are, the Super Bowl loser the next year. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I'm not saying they're going to suck. Do I think they're going to make it back to the Super Bowl this year? No. I don't. I think they're going to have a great season, but I just don't think that, as Fuji's getting ready to flash something up on his screen here, or he's just cold now, he's got to put something on.
No, I'm not 100-degree weather today.
The Bills are better. The Browns are better. The Ravens are going to get better. You have too many teams now that are catching up to what the Chiefs are doing. And yes, I mean if Kyle Long comes back from whatever injury he's dealing with, and I get conflicting reports of how bad it really is, I mean, if their offensive line can stay healthy, they're going to go far. I just don't think they will make it back for a third straight year.
No,
Remains to be seen.
Yeah, and it happens. Dave says it's time for the young guys on defense to step up and show the Eagles what they're made of, which is exactly true, Dave. Exactly true. And Coach Dougie says, I still can't see that put up no points in Super Bowl. Listen, and again, there was a lot of distractions that went on for Kansas City. Unfortunately, Andy Reid's son didn't make that situation any better. So there was a lot of things that were. The quarterback also. Good Lord, when am I having a brain fart tonight? Because your young quarterback did not have. Okay, so he had stated, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but he stated that he felt like he was good to go for the Super Bowl, but he was injured, if I remember correctly, in the divisional playoff game.
Are you talking about Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, look, he was – he had a hurt foot. He was running for his life the whole Super Bowl. The referees did the Chiefs no favor toward the end of the first half in the Super Bowl, which changed the entire complexity of it. And I know Ducky's laughing up there, but Ray Lewis even said it, all right? When Ray Lewis doesn't want to watch football anymore because of the way the first half ended in the Super Bowl, that's coming from a Hall of Famer right there. So there was a lot of things that were stacked against him. The whole Andy Reid's son, situation didn't help. And the players came out and said they were really concerned about what was going on with that whole situation. So, but there's no excuses. Now, I'm not saying if all that didn't factor into it, the Chiefs still wouldn't have lost because they probably would have lost. But I just think there are too many teams in the AFC now that have caught up. There's just too many. The Bills are going to be formidable this year. The Browns are going to be formidable. The Ravens are going to be formidable. Tennessee is going to be formidable. So the AFC is stacked, just stacked to the tilt. The Chiefs are not going to have a cakewalk. They didn't really have a cakewalk last year, to be quite honest with you. I mean, there are teams that are catching up to what they're doing. My concern for the Chiefs this year is not the offense. They really need to shore up that defense because the defense at times last year looked good. When they played the Bills last year, if everybody remembers, they hammered the Bills last year in Buffalo. But there was other times where they couldn't stop the run worth of crap. And when they could stop the run, then the secondary faltered a little bit. And that's always been my one concern about the Chiefs. Even when they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, their defense caught fire in the playoffs. But the regular season, if everybody remembers 2 years ago, their defense was crap. It was just the Chiefs were winning games 35-31, 38-30. So, and I've just always said, I don't know why the organization – here we go. And I don't know why the organization just doesn't focus on shoring up the defense. Because if the Chiefs had a top 5 defense or a top 10 defense, they'd be untouchable.
That's true. And I see the mascot from the Sixers that just joined the podcast here. But Joe says, when will we have another Super Bowl that measures up to Super Bowl 52? Fuji, you can take that one.
That remains to be seen. We'll see what Jalen Hurts is made of this year. We'll see him hopefully for a 16-game season.
17.
Waiting for Fuji to put on his little peanut thing because it looks like he's getting ready to serve peanuts at a baseball game. I'm waiting for him to put the wrap around his neck.
Only you get that garbage off, and same for you, Jabroni, and right above him. Don't you burn that Knots sweatshirt?
He's got his – that's what it looks like. I got your peanuts here. Got your peanuts here.
We're both sitting at home watching the playoffs. Sixers and the Nets.
That's right.
And the Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics.
And your Blackhawks are sitting at home watching the Stanley Cup.
All my teams are sitting at home.
That's all right.
That's your fault.
That's right. And by the way, for everyone, kind of is some good news here and a bit of news that we want to share with everyone. One is, obviously, please, as always, visit BroadStreetSouth.com, BroadSTSouth.com, where you guys can check out any episodes that are missed. You can even see that, yes, we are here live with everyone else, but you guys can go back and watch any previous episodes that you had missed. You can check out, obviously, the live shows, the episodes, articles that are written by Nick. Also, if you click on the store symbol, it will take you out to BroadStreetSouth.store, where you guys can check out all of our merchandise that we have out there. More hats are coming, by the way. Coach Ducky, I know you were looking for some hats, but more hats are coming. But if you guys want to check out t-shirts, sweatshirts, matter of fact, I'll just click it up there just so you guys can see. You guys can, there's t-shirts, hoodies. Some people like to wear leggings. Obviously, that would be for the women. But if you are going to wear the leggings,
Sorry.
if you are
The white ones. Ryan really wants the white ones. He really wants the white ones.
And yeah, if by the way, speaking of, if you click on the leggings, yes, there are different color leggings, and there's 2 different styles. There's one that's a wraparound, and there's another one. If you end up looking later on down there, you can see the front action. Side,
all right. I think we get it with the leggings. We get it with the leggings.
Hey, listen, you guys want to see the leggings? So you get the leggings. But anyways, oh come on, click back. See, now it's going to make me go through all the colors again.
And we at some point we are coming up with the special Lyle Lovett hair care package.
Oh man,
we'll bring one of those up.
let's get a Broad Street South buzzer and hair set. Do a Broad Street South gel.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty cool.
But if you guys want to check around all the different merchandise, we also have phone covers for the Samsung and iPhones, so the iPhone lovers, fanny packs in case you guys are going out to the different parks and such. But check out the merchandise. And by the way, also just released this week as well. Yes, we are now on iHeartRadio. So if you guys want to listen to the podcast, and of course you can listen to the one today, come tomorrow. So if you're on the road, wherever you are, you're in college like you are with our young Ducky here, anywhere you guys are, and if iHeartRadio app is your favorite go-to app, we are now available on iHeartRadio. So that was huge news. We got the okay last night. It was a lot of fun to hear back from iHeartRadio and also from Amazon Music. So if you also are an Amazon Music fan, our podcast is now available on Amazon Music. So 2 big ones already, and obviously Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts that we've been on for a while, and Podcast Index, which is another one that we're on. So iHeart, thank you so much, and Amazon Music as well for allowing us to share our podcast on your platform for everyone to hear. And if everyone did not hear earlier, as far as the announcements, a lot's going on with us, and we're enjoying the ride. We're having a lot of fun as we've got a couple minutes here before the show ends. Thank you to everyone. Once again, I cannot say enough thank you. And from all of us here, the Philly market continues to grow. The Tampa area market has grown. And a lot of times when you put tweets out, like, obviously for the Lightning, and people go back and they see your profile, see what's going on, that gives you an opportunity as well to not only be able to interact with the folks here in Tampa, but for them to view us as well. The same thing, and God bless Sean Salisbury because he was on with us earlier. And I know every morning I put out a tweet with Sean because he's just a lot of fun to listen to first thing in the morning. But thanks to Sean and a lot of times in retweeting the show, thanks to him, we now have folks from like Dallas and Houston area that are checking out the show as well. So we do appreciate everyone from the Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina continues to grow, Virginia, Ohio, the Midwest is starting to grow. So there's a lot of growth when it comes to the show, and we hope that it doesn't stop. Denmark was one of those early places overseas that we were first on, and now Moscow, Russia. So I don't know, maybe Gorbachev or somebody else is listening in and hearing all about the American sports. But
maybe
again,
Putin's listening.
That's okay. And
Maybe Putin's trying to get some info on us.
Nikita Kucherov, Andrei Vasilevsky, maybe they're tuning in.
Yeah.
Ivan Drago.
From Russia.
Ivan Drago.
Thank you, Dave. We do appreciate it. And Joe says, you guys think that Ryan Kerrigan can have an opportunistic role that could help nurture a championship if he sticks around here for one more year?
It's possible. I think it was a great pickup. Eagles needed some depth on that defensive line, and I think we'll produce rotating in and out, depending on what Jonathan Quinn's defense is going to be.
One more year in championship is the part that made me laugh. Oh.
Stranger things had happened. But anyway,
Hey.
listen.
There's that look.
Hey.
Fire it up. Here we go.
We was in last place in 2016, and who the hell saw 52 coming in 2017?
No one.
Exactly.
Was it the right answer?
Exactly. But hey, listen. And Coach Dougie says he'll be back in August, not Augusta, but I understand what you meant there, Coach. Dave, thank you so much again. Dave Harris for tuning back. He was with us last week, tuned in back again this week. So Dave, thank you so much for tuning in. To everyone else, again, thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. By the way, while you guys go out there, yes, we do have a Broad Street South YouTube, but because everything was first started off, as you guys can see behind me here on Broad Street South Sports Talk, the YouTube channel, you guys can find it under Broad Street South Sports Talk because, yes, we still do have the Sports Talk, and we merge it down to Broad Street South because we are a sports life entertainment show. As things start to open up even more, then we'll be able to view different venues, bring you different things. But for right now, we're focused upon as far as when it comes to sports. As the venues open up, the concerts come back, things will be added more to the show as we try to reach out to more folks in the hopes that end up coming on. But when you're dealing with agents, managers, and all the good fun stuff, it takes a mountain to move a small molehill. But hey, we're looking at it as nothing but progress as we've completed our year coming up in July. Per season, we've completed our full year. But as a show, we're coming up on a year, and we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Joe says one more thing here that I know it probably won't grow in a year, just like Andy Reid. We'll get back to black clock management. Yeah, that's so true. So true. But listen, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. And as our national correspondent says, we will have, a package together for the Ducky Lovett haircut. If you want it, it's available. We'll put a part of the Broad Street South store, and you can get the haircut just like Ducky Lovett.
Oh, well. That'll
There we
be
go.
cool, Jim.
There we go. Is that my new guy now? Is it Love It? Is that the new? Is that the new?
Hey,
thing?
listen, if I get John Cicada, you get Lyle Lovett.
Lyle,
I'll take Lyle Love It.
Right? I get John Cicada, so you get Lyle. So I'll make sure I'm going to replace. Matter of fact, this picture with Lyle Lovett up there. Maybe we can find one with some sunglasses on.
Ryan already said I look like De Niro. So.
There you go.
There you go.
I can't. You're making me laugh. It'll be a good summer.
Coach, see you later. Everyone else, come Thursday, by the way, and there was one thing that I want to get done here, but come Thursday, Joe has one more thing here. Don't feel bad about the hair. They wish they had more. Yeah.
Joe, my guy, Joe. Thanks, man. I appreciate
if I grew this mess up here, it would be like an afro with curls because it gets really curly. That's why I keep my hair short. That's right. Now, there you go. Matter of fact, yeah,
Like Mr.
Ryan,
Buzz
and actually, yeah, he can end up having a full, vast amount of hair. So that's true
There
as
you
well.
go. Take it back to the 70s.
Right.
There you go. You're gonna have it. And by the way, thanks to once again to Goose for Goose's Monte Cristo Lounge in Tobacconist. Again, you guys want to go visit Goose? Please, by all means, 250 West Ridge Pike in Limerick, Pennsylvania, 19468. If I got the zip code correctly here, go visit the shop. Please pick out the finest cigar in the Delaware Valley. Visit Goose's Monte Cristo. And if you guys want to know, the website is cigargoose.com. Once again, cigargoose.com. Thanks to Goose. Thank you to Debbie, my producer over in Studio B, for the young Nick Lovett, our beat writer, for our national correspondent Ryan F., and always the Vito Corleone, Godfather himself. We thank everyone for tuning in. And by the way, I see 2 more comments coming in as we end the show. One is we will have Harrison Ford on Thursday night at 7:30.
Not Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Sanford.
Harrison Sanford.
Good
I was
boy.
like,
We're having Harrison Ford on?
Harrison
I was thinking about the
Sanford.
actor. Sorry, Stanford. My fault. Harrison
right.
Stanford on Thursday night at 7:30. Dougie says I do have a fantasy football league going on. That is true. You guys reach out to Ducky on his Facebook page if anyone wants to play fantasy football, as he's been reminding me. So, you guys, if you guys want to get into a fantasy football league, by all means, reach out to Ducky on his Facebook page at Ducky Cornish. Again, thanks everybody tonight. We do appreciate it. We will see you Thursday night live at 7:30. We'll be talking some Sixers talk, and I'm pretty sure we'll get into some more stuff after we get after we have our guest on. The following week, we will have Dave Clausen on, who is the women's hockey coach for Division II hockey, if I got that remembered correctly as well. Also a golf addict, which coincidentally that week will be Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. So that'll be a lot of fun to talk with Dave. And we'll have more guests to come, but we do appreciate all the guests come on with us. We do thank them. We thank again tonight for last time Media's Vince Quinn to come on with us tonight. We do appreciate it. And again, much success to you guys, to those guys. Happier 1 year anniversary to them. And we'll want to hear exactly all the good stuff that's going to come out of Last Out Media. So thanks to everybody tonight. And nothing but smiles here as I try to get through all this stuff. But listen, thanks to everybody. And I know someone wanted to end. Who was it last week that said that we should end with No One Likes Us?
No, that was this
Definitely
guy.
not me.
That was me.
Was it you?
Oh no! Oh, I feel we had one of you all comment that said we should end.
Somebody commented.
No one likes us. We don't care.
No,
It was
don't.
probably-
Nobody likes us, and we don't care.
No,
Hey,
that's true, man.
whoever it was, shout out to you. So let's do
Easy,
it.
love it.
Let's
Easy,
run them
Ducky,
easy.
love it.
All right, well, just for Fuji, we'll do it tonight. And Dave, thank you for saying check it out on Thursday night. Again, you guys go to BroadStreetSouth.com. Again, BroadStSouth.com. And if you guys haven't bothered, boy, put that in the Google search engine. It is the number one thing that actually pops up. Instead of the street itself, our show pops up. So thank you to everyone who actually shares the love, because we do appreciate it. And just for Vito, here you go.
We don't care. No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. We're from Philly, fucking Philly. No one likes us. We don't care. No.
So just for Vito and for him as the show goes out, we will see everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night evening. If you're watching the game tomorrow, go Bolts. And for Ryan, as he said, go, I guess, Habs for the most part. But anyways, we'll see you guys on Thursday night. Sixers talk, more talk. We appreciate you. We will see you then. Have a great night.